Okay, you're gonna find 15.2 is probably more of a review for you. We're gonna compare fractions, decimals, and percents in this lesson. So the biggest thing you need to keep in mind is these numbers need to be in the same form in order to accurately compare them. Or if you already know the answer, in order to provide mathematical proof for why one is bigger than the other. So we're just gonna do a couple together, and I think that you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. So we're gonna compare using greater than, less than, or equal to, okay? Let's try it out. Okay, so number one, we're gonna compare 3/20 and 16%. So you can choose, you can make these both fractions, you can make them both percents, or you can make them both decimals. It doesn't matter, you get to choose. So what I noticed is that I can easily convert 20ths into 100ths, and then I can have a percent really easily. So if I multiply these both by 5, I can get 15/100, and I know percents are always out of 100, which means 3/20 is equivalent to 15%. Well, now it's very easy to say which one is bigger and why. So then I can write 3/20 is less than 16%. Remember, alligator mouth always eats that bigger number. Okay, let's try a couple more. Number two, we're gonna compare 79% and 800ths. So you might already know the answer, but you have to be able to prove it. Again, you can choose to convert this into a decimal, you can choose to convert this into a percent, you can make them fractions, although I don't know why you'd want to do that. So this one I changed to a percent, so this one will just show as a decimal. So we're gonna move this 2 times to the left to get a decimal, and I get 79/100ths, which I can see is much bigger than 8/100ths. 79 is bigger than 8, okay? Let's try one more where we have a list. The classwork might ask you to use a number line to order from least to greatest, and to me it's not really that important that you use a number line, although you definitely can. Let's try 38%, 8/25ths, and 41/100ths. So if you were to use a number line, I think converting to decimals makes the most sense, okay? So let's convert 38% into a decimal by moving that decimal point twice to the left, and we get 0.38. Then we have to convert 8/25ths into a decimal. So you can choose how you want to convert this to a decimal. You may want to change it to a percent first, maybe that's easier. So if we were to change it to a percent first, I would multiply these by 4 to get 32/100, which I know is equal to 32%. Then I can move it twice to the left, and I get 0.32. So here are my 3 numbers that I need to compare, okay? So if I want to compare these, they're all hundredths. So I have 32, 38, and 41. So I know that 32/100ths is the smallest. That started as 8/25ths. So that would be the smallest number in this set. And then 38/100ths is the next smallest. That started as a percent though, so we'll change it to a percent. And then 41/100 is the largest. So there would be our list from least to greatest. And you can also show that on a number line if you need to, or if you want to. So here would be our 0, they're all positives. And I can just count maybe by hundredths. 2, 0.3, 0.4, and 5/100. And then I'm just gonna have to estimate where these go. So 32/100 would come first, so probably about right here. That was my 8/25, or 32/100. Then 38/100 was next, so that's probably closer to right here. That was my 38%. Or 38/100. And then last but not least, I have my 41/100. So that's what it would look like on a number line. If I was gonna do that again, I would probably space it out a little bit more so that it wasn't quite so squished together, but I think you'll get the idea. Okay, that completes our lesson.